The House of the Dead remake is looking fantastic. Square Enix ticks off more of its customers. The TMNT Cowabunga collection has a nice surprise. And finally, Pinball FX3 gets a super expensive piece of DLC that leaves fans wondering why. There's a lot going on in the world of Nintendo, so hang on, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and let's go over the latest Nintendo news. In the last few days, we got treated to two great pieces of news regarding the House of the Dead remake. First of all, we got the latest trailer, which is being shown on screen right now, and it looks awesome. I was a big fan of the original one in the arcades, as well as the sequel, and I'm impressed at how great this remake looks. It's still keeping the campy feel for sure, which I'm happy for, but they really have given this a nice fresh look. Yesterday though, we got news that they are putting out a nice physical version that comes out in early April. I'm shocked that they're doing a physical version. It'll come with a nice collector's box with a lenticular, 2 character stands, a sticker sheet, and of course the game. The best news of all though is it's not being handled by Limited Run or the like. You will be able to pick it up in regular stores at an MSRP of $39.99. Of course it'll be on the eShop, but for those looking for a nice physical version, it's great to know that you will not have to jump through hoops or wait long to get one. I'm pretty stoked for this game. I'm going to try to get a physical version for my collection. Are you planning on picking up a physical version? Let me know in the comments down below. Well, Square Enix is ticking off more of its customers. On the 10th of this month, Chocobo Racing GP arrived for consoles, a sequel to the original PS1 kart racing game. Fans of the first one were pretty happy that we were getting a sequel, including myself, but unfortunately Square Enix seems to have messed up again. The main complaint from players stems from the fact that it seems to look like it was straight up meant to be on mobile devices. The game greets players with promotions about in-game currencies, microtransactions, and a season pass, which really shouldn't be smacking a player in the face when they spent $50 to get the game in the first place. So understandably, people are ticked. And from what I've checked out and played, yeah, it is pretty bad. It does really give the impression it was originally supposed to be a mobile game. There is a free light version for those that want to check it out, and honestly, I probably recommend doing that before even attempting to spend $50 to buy this game. As far as gameplay wise, the game is pretty half-baked. It is not going to compete with some of the better kart racers out there. It just feels like a cheap mobile game. Square Enix has seen that players are upset, as they plan to make some adjustments to the season pass, and offering some free currency, but it remains to be seen if this will be enough to satisfy players. I'm thinking it's probably going to take a lot more than that. Between the Kingdom Hearts Cloud versions, Babylon's Fall being a disaster, and now Chocobo GP being a mobile transaction $50 mess, Square Enix sure is making some real stumbles lately. Oh, and I forgot they made Balan's Wonderworld. They published that mess last year. Okay, I'm not saying that they're going out of business, or that they're in serious trouble, but it's definitely apparent that when they make mistakes, they sure do make some awful ones. And it seems like in the last couple of years, they have made a lot more bad decisions than in years prior to that. Square Enix generally was always associated with quality products, so they gotta watch themselves. Can't keep putting out half-baked games, and making decisions that just tick off players. That's gonna doom you in the end. Again, I'm not saying they're going out of business or they're at that point yet, but yeah, I feel like they really need to start watching what they're doing. Anyway, I want to know what your opinion of Square Enix is lately. Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see what your thoughts are about the company. During the PlayStation State of Play that happened this past week, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection was announced, and it's coming to other systems including the Switch. This collection is an awesome surprise, as it includes 13 games from the Game Boy to the NES, SNES, Sega Genesis, and the arcades. It's impressive that Konami has put together such an awesome collection. I mean, we are kind of more used to them just doing stupid stuff, but here they actually did good. For those that are wondering, the games that are included are both of the arcade games, all 3 of the main NES games, all 3 versions of Tournament Fighters, Turtles in Time for the SNES, the Hyperstone Heist for Sega Mega Drive and Sega Genesis, and all 3 Game Boy games. And for 11 of those games, they will be including the Japanese versions too. It will be full of modern perks including save states, rewind features, button remapping, but the best news is the collection will include some online play for 4 of the included games. TMNT Arcade, Turtles in Time Arcade, Hyperstone Heist, and the SNES version of Tournament Fighters will all have some sort of online gameplay, which I am stoked for. I didn't expect this collection to be a thing, but when I saw it was announced, I did not expect to see any online gameplay. I honestly thought they would cheap out on that. A lot of these companies don't include online gameplay when it comes to their retro releases, so it's a really nice surprise when they do. Playing with friends is what made a number of these Turtles games so memorable, especially the arcade games, but now being able to play with friends when they're rolled over, oh, that is awesome! That is amazing, and the Turtles are back, baby. Finally, we're going to cap off today's news video with some news about Pinball FX3. Zen Studios is still pumping out pinball tables, with the latest being a digital remaster of the classic Indiana Jones pinball table. There's just one problem that fans are upset about. The DLC is priced at $14.99 for just one pinball table. Holy cow. Yeah, I can see why people are upset. I thought it initially was a typo, but nope. Pinball FX3 is expecting players to fork over $15 for a single pinball table. Well, not Pinball FX3, I mean Zen Studios, but regardless, you can understand why players are thinking Zen Studios is mad, and honestly, I can't blame them. The company has replied that they wanted to provide the best authentic experience, and I get licenses can be expensive, but one has to wonder if it was even really worth releasing this in the first place, if it was going to cost that much for customers. For reference, most of the pinball bundles cost $10 or so $15 for a single table is pretty outrageous. Personally, I think they should have probably reconsidered the pricing, or maybe not release this at all if it was going to be that expensive. I think as a company, you really got to read the room and just make the decision that if it's going to cost a considerable amount of money, now let's be real here, $15 isn't a lot of money, but if it's going to cost a considerable amount more than people are willing to pay, maybe it's not worth doing. Do you think it was worth releasing at that price? Or is Zen Studios out of their mind? Let me know in the comments. And that's all for today's edition of the news for Nintendo fans. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, it lets me know that you appreciate it. And if you're not yet a subscriber, then consider hitting that subscribe and notification buttons so you never miss a single video. I post new videos each and every week on this channel. But that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you.